Hello everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well today. I am in a very good mood. I just got back from the dentist. Those of you that have been following me, you know the issue I had with my new denture, my first denture. Didn't fit well, the assistant didn't do a good job, what have you. So I went in today. And as soon as I walked in, there was a new assistant. She was the sweetest thing ever. Sweetest young girl. And she sits me in my chair in the little room. And she says, well, Dr. So-and-so told me to get you all fitted for a brand new denture. I was expecting a fight, guys. I really was expecting a fight. But she just goes, yep, he instructed me to get you ready for a new denture. And I was like, oh really? And she goes, yes. And then I showed her the denture, which I showed you in my last video, which was just terrible. I still have it on because it will be about 6 weeks before I get my new denture, the one that fits right. And when she took the denture out and took all that liner out, she put it up on me and she goes, oh no, that doesn't fit you at all. I said, no, it does not. So she goes, let me go ahead and put a new liner in to hold you over till you get your new denture. So she got rid of that awful white stuff that I showed you in the video there, and she put some pink stuff, and she did a much better job of putting it in than the last one so that it fit my mouth better. She did a really good job. So I've still got my original denture, my first one, but I am getting new ones, so I'm pretty excited. I was very firm on the phone when I called yesterday. I didn't ask them if this was okay or ask them, is this, you know, what should I do? I told them. I point blank told them. No. Pig, Lily, come here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Lily, Pixie, come here. I literally told them this denture is not working and I need it to be repaired or replaced, not repaired. I mean, I was very firm, and I'm just so grateful. So the one that the liner that she put in there, it's pink. So you don't see it on my gum at all, like the one I showed you yesterday, which was atrocious. So you don't even see this one. She even fit it to my gum, whereas the other one just blobbed it in there, and I had this big old blob of stuff up here. Terrible. So yeah, I'm happy, very, very happy. So I'll be excited to. I go in Monday to get the rim done, or Tuesday. I go in Tuesday to get the rim done. And then I just wait for my new denture. But yeah, this assistant, as soon as she saw it, she said, oh no, that's wrong. This does not fit you in any way whatsoever. And so I'm very happy that it went so smoothly. My dentist didn't even come out to see me, but he did show up in the patient that was right next, you know how they have the little kind of divider, but you can still see the other patient. He went to that patient, he looked over and he's like, hey Lori, how's it going? And I said, I'm doing good now. And he goes, good. I said, how are you? And he's like, fine, fine. So yeah, I was actually expecting a fight. But no, nothing. Just getting a new denture, and I could not be happier. Last night before I went to bed, I felt this little sense of anxiety, and you know that if you suffer from anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. You all of a sudden get a little, kind of, even a little shaky, and you get a little nauseated, and you just, oh, that anxiety can hit you. That happened last night, and then I laid there in bed and I said, you know what? I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Whatever will be, I will deal with it from there. I let it go. The anxiety went away, the nausea went away, the little bit of shakiness went away. It was like that. I literally said out loud, I am letting this go. I am not going to stress and worry about this. This will work out one way or another. This will work out. And sure enough, I felt the anxiety leave my body, like almost as if my body said, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't get you all messed up with anxiety. So, yeah. So anyway, besides that, I wanted to talk to you about something that came into my mind. I was online looking at different things, and I saw some things about, plane crashes and stuff like that. How are you guys about getting on a plane? I will never get on a plane again. Planes terrify me, and it stems all the way back to the 1970s. In 1975, when I came back from Germany, I had followed my then husband, who was in the Army, to Germany. Went there with no problem. In fact, they let me drink. I was 18. And on the way to Germany, they asked me if I would like a drink. I was like, sure, you know. So, yeah, very relaxing on the way over there. On the way back, not so much. I had a new baby. Let's see. I left in June, so February, March, April, May, July. He was barely 4 months old. I'm holding my new baby, and all of a sudden we felt this kind of jerk in the plane. And we're talking, you know, a massive, back then it was like a 747. Felt kind of a jerk, and I thought, oh, that was weird. And then all of a sudden, the pilot comes on and says, please, ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, blah, 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 blah. The what do you call them now? They were flight attendant, I guess. It used to be stewardess. Flight attendant. She's running up and down the aisle, making sure. I mean, you're literally running up and down the aisle, making sure everybody's buckled in. And I thought, what's going on? And I was sitting by this window seat. I was at the window seat, and I happened to look out, and I thought, oh my God, this feels weird. All of a sudden, I could feel pressure really weird. And it turns out that we were losing altitude, and the plane was starting to go down. Well, needless to say, everybody was terrified. It was just like in the movies. It was like in the movies. The things dropped down, you know, the oxygen masks. Everybody was yelling. I mean, it was terrified. And I'm sitting there with my brand new baby thinking, this is it. We're going to die. And it dropped quite a bit before he was able. I looked out the window. I could see the ocean getting closer. And I thought, I'm going to die in the water. I'm dead. And everybody was crying and yelling. I mean, I swear it was just like what you see in the movies. And I just sat there holding my baby, telling him I loved him. I'll hold on to you to the end. I was just holding him tight, closing my eyes, and I was like, I can't believe this. Then all of a sudden we felt another jerk, and the pilot comes on and says, we've got control, I've got control of the plane again. Everything's going to be all right, folks. It's going to be all right. Then we could feel the plane start going back up, and I was like, oh my God. That was terrifying. I'll tell you what, landing here in Albuquerque was like, I mean, I could have laid on the ground and hugged it. I really could have. So that put a fear in me about flying that has stuck with me for life. I have been on a plane. I used to go with my husband to, for his business, my second husband, to some of his business trips. There was like 3 of them that I went, or no, 2 were by plane, and 1 was we drove. So yeah, I went to Texas, I went to Chicago with him on the plane, and I had to take a Xanax to do that. And then when we were separated and we're going to get a divorce, I was dating a guy who was a pilot. Well, he also flew Cessnas, those little tiny planes. Well, he drives me out to where that little airport is. I had no idea we were going to do that. And he's like, come on, I want you in my plane. I was like, what? And he goes, come on, we're going to go to Santa Fe from here, from Albuquerque. And I was like, okay, thinking, I've got to get over this. That was the most terrible flight. Those little planes, man, rickety shake. Oh my God. It was terrible. You could feel everything. So when we got back, I thought, never again will I go into a Cessna, one of those little planes. It was awful. Well, that was back in what, 2000, or 1989. That was 1989. I didn't get on a plane again until my son and I went to California to visit my sister Gloria. And that was, I think, 2009, I believe, 9 or 10, around there. I have no desire to get on them now, especially after everything I'm seeing. I saw one yesterday, a report about a plane that was taking off from somewhere here in the country, and part of the wing broke off, just broke off. And I'm thinking, no, there's been too many weird things happening to planes lately for several months and for quite a while. I'm sorry guys, I'm a chicken when it comes to planes. And I know there are people who say, oh, you have more of a chance getting in a car accident than in a plane crash. Yeah, I just don't buy that whole path of thinking. I mean, up there I have no control. I have zero control. At least down here in my car, I can be really aware of cars around me. That's not to say somebody can't slam me from behind or come and hit me sideways, T-bone me. Of course that can happen. But I feel I have a little control here on Earth. Up there, nah. I absolutely cannot be in a plane again. It's terrifying to me. If I had to get on a plane now for any reason, I would have to be medicated. There is no way I could get on a plane without something like a Xanax or a Valium to make me get through it. I couldn't do it. When my son and I went to California, I had to take a Xanax. I went to my doctor and I said, I'm taking a trip to California by plane. I can't get on the plane without something. And he laughed and he goes, I'm the same way. And I looked at him, I was like, really? And he goes, I can't get on a plane unless I take a Valium. And I was like, oh, so it's not just me. He goes, oh my God, no. So he gave me 4 Xanaxes. 1 to go, a couple to have over there in case I was whatever, and then I love you too, and then 1 to come back. So yeah, tell me what your feelings are about airplanes, about being on a plane. I'm telling you, if you've never been in a Cessna and you have a little fear of planes, don't get in a Cessna. Don't get in a little plane. That was terrible. And then, to make it even worse, when we got back to Albuquerque, it was an airport called Double Eagle Airport. And he tells me to, we land and everything. He's like, oh, okay, we're here. You can open the door. So I pop open the door, I get out, I start to walk, and he screams. He's like, stop! I mean, he literally just screamed at the top of his lungs, and I stopped, and he goes, do not go forward, go to the side, to the side. And I said, what? And he's, to the side. Well, I did not see the propeller. You couldn't see the propeller because it was going so fast. Couldn't see it at all. I would have walked right into that had he not screamed. And that, even talking about it right now, I'll never forget. It took me a few years to get past that weird sensation when I would think about it. I mean, literally. I would think about it, and even now as I think about it, I get this little like chill from head to toe. I'll never forget how he screamed stop. It sounded like he had a bullhorn. It was so loud and deep, and it was so loud that that's what made me stop. It freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, what? And then he says, do not move. Do not move. And so I'm standing here thinking, what the hell? What's going on? And he gets out on his side and runs around to my side, and he says, never, never walk forward in a plane, one of these planes. You've got the propellers. He said, always go out the side. When you get out of a plane, go out the side. And I was like, and then when he told me why, I am not kidding you, my knees started shaking. He kind of had to hold me up. I got nauseated instantly. I had this vision in my head of what would have happened. He had to walk me into the little airport lounge, and I had to sit there and drink water. I felt like I was going to pass out when I realized what almost happened. I would have been shredded. And I don't know, call it stupid, call it what you will, but that's the first time I had been in a propeller plane, And you couldn't see it. I swear to God, you could not see it. I couldn't even hear anything because of all the other sounds going on at the airport. And when I got out, I didn't notice the propeller. And he goes, no, you can't see it right away because it's going so fast. So yeah, guys, tell me what your feelings are about being on airplanes. If you've had any bad experiences. That one from Germany marked me for decades. Yeah, or for it really for the rest of my life. When I think about it now, and that might be another reason I hate the ocean so much, I'll never forget looking out that window and seeing it get a little bit closer. And I hate the ocean. God, how I hate it. But that was terrifying. To be holding your brand new first baby thinking you're going to die in minutes was the most horrifying, horrific feeling on this planet. It was horrible. And I just sat there quietly as I was watching everybody losing their minds. Yeah, it was just like a movie. So anyway, guys, tell me your feelings about planes and let me know what your experiences are. I always find it interesting. So come here, Lily. Come on, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Oh, she got her toy. She got her toy. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Oh, okay. Bye, guys. God, Lily, you about lost your mind there. No, no, girl. Where's my pixie? I don't even know.